So today we are going to start our first chapter of 11th class physics, that is units and dimensions. So this is the units and dimensions. So before we start telling the meaning of unit, what is unit? So let me explain first a new term for you, that is physical quantity. Physical quantity is a quantity which can be measurable. You can write this in your notebook that it is a quantity which can be measurable. For example, length, mass and time. Can we have any other quantity which is not measurable? Yes, like emotions, anger, happiness, these cannot be measurable. So these are metaphysical quantities, we say, or non-physical quantities. Here we are dealing with the physical quantities which can be measurable. So to make our study more simple, we divide all the physical quantities which are existing in our universe into two main categories: fundamental and derived quantities. Fundamental means these are the basic quantities, that is absolute quantities. In other words, these quantities help to derive the other quantities known as derived quantities. So there are basically 7 fundamental quantities. What are those 7 fundamental quantities? One is length, second is mass, third is time, fourth is electric current, fifth is temperature, sixth is luminous intensity, and seventh is amount of the substance. These are 7 fundamental quantities. So derived quantities like area is derived quantity, because formula for the area is length into breadth. Velocity is also a derived quantity, and the formula for velocity is distance upon time. So and so on. There are many all other quantities apart from these 7 fundamental quantities. All other quantities are derived quantities. So I think it is clear to everyone what is physical quantity, and then types of physical quantities: fundamental, derived, and there are 7 fundamental quantities. Now, in order to express any physical quantity or to measure physical quantity, are those quantities which can be measurable. So how will you measure the quantity? What is the process of measurement? So to measure any physical quantity, the first step which is required is the choice of unit. So here comes the meaning of unit. So everybody has noted on this? Let me rub it. Okay. So now we are in a position. First, what is unit? It is you can write also, this is the definition of unit. It is a standard which is chosen for the measurement of any physical quantity. So what is the process of measurement? The first step is we have to choose the unit. Then how many times that unit is contained in that measurement, that gives a complete description of the measurement of that physical quantity. Let us explain this by taking one example. Suppose we want to measure the length of this rod, and we choose the unit as meter. And this is suppose the length of 1 meter. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can say length of this rod AB as 4 meter. So we have chosen the unit as meter, and how many times this length of rod will become meter? 4 times. So it is 4 times the meter. So we can say 4 meter. Length of this rod is 4 meter. 4 is actually the magnitude of this length, and meter is the unit which we have chosen for its measurement. Same comes if we suppose choose the unit as centimeter. Then this length of rod AB becomes 400 centimeters, because centimeter will be then very small, and we know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So length of rod becomes 400 centimeters. So 400 becomes the magnitude and centimeter is the unit. So any quantity which we are measuring, in general we can write as Q is equal to MU, where Q stands for quantity here and N stands for magnitude or times, we can say, and U stands for its unit. So the process of measurement of any physical quantity requires mainly 2 steps. One is choice of unit, and second is how many times that unit is contained in that measurement. Clear to everyone? So this is all about the what is unit. So when we are going more details, so we have mainly various types of system of units. What are those system of units? Little bit idea we have to just consider. System of units. The most ancient system of unit is FPS system, then CGS system, then MKS system, and then SI system. FPS system means length is measured in foot, mass is measured in pounds, and time is measured in seconds. CGS means length is measured in centimeter, mass is measured in gram, time is measured in seconds. Let me explain these two first. These are the two system of units which were nowadays discarded because there are two reasons. First is that these units are very smaller units. We cannot measure very big measurement with the help of these system of units. Second is that these systems cannot be easily convertible from one form to another form. And there is one more reason, that now these units were unable to define the units of the other fundamental quantities. Like you can see, we are able to define the units only for length, mass and time. So these systems nowadays we are not using in our daily measurement. So MKS is the most acceptable system because the system was successfully able to define the units of the 3 fundamental quantities, as well as later on the system was able to define the unit for electric current also. Then this system was easily convertible also. So this system was acceptable by the scientists in all the measurements. Then they defined another system which was internationally accepted, and that is basically the modified form of MKS system only. Modified form means they have taken the unit for the first four fundamental quantities was same which MK has defined. That is, length has meter, mass as kilogram, and time is in second, and the electric current is in ampere. So this system was able to define the units for the 4 quantities: length, mass, time, and electric current. This system gave the unit for this length as meter, mass as kilogram, time as second, and electric current as ampere. So the same by taking the same units for all these 4 fundamental quantities, SI was able to define the units for other 3 fundamental quantities also. So it was internationally accepted, and we have basic system of unit as SI system of unit. Nowadays we are using only the SI system of unit in our measurement. So let us discuss SI system, which is system of international units, in detail. This system was able to define the units of all 7 fundamental quantities. This system, for example, length SI unit of length is meter. Then mass is kilogram. Time, second. Electric current, ampere, capital A. Then temperature is Kelvin. SI unit of temperature is Kelvin. And sixth is luminous intensity. SI unit is candela, denoted by CD. And seventh is amount of substance. Amount of substance is measured as mole. You can note down all the units of these 7 fundamental quantities. These are the SI units of fundamental quantities. Clear to everyone? Shall we proceed further? Good. So next is these 7 fundamental quantities . 7 fundamental quantities are basic quantities or absolute quantities, also known as 7 dimensions of the physical world. Also known as 7 dimensions of the physical world. So, length is the first dimension and denoted by this square bracket, capital M. Mass, capital M. Time, capital T. Electric current, capital A. Temperature, capital K. Then luminous intensity, candela, CD, and last is amount of the substance. Please all of you note down this. These are the 7 dimensions of the physical world or dimensions of the 7 fundamental quantities. Now if you want to define the dimension of area, then how will you find out? Shall we proceed further? Have you noted on this? You can note down. I can wait for 1 minute. Dimensions of area, which is a derived quantity. So we know area is equal to what? Length into breadth. So it is length is measured in length and breadth is also measured in length. So it is what? L square. What about mass and time? Is independent of mass and time. So we can write independent means power of m 0, power of time t 0, and only it comprises of L square. You will get all the notes also, whatever I am explaining you, printed form. You will get all the notes also. So the dimensions of area we write as m0, L2, t0. This power 0 indicating that this quantity is independent of mass and time. This is first. Then second, similarly we can derive the dimension of velocity. Velocity is defined as distance upon time. So distance is L upon time t. So it is m0 L t minus 1. So and so on, we can derive other dimensions also. Another dimension like momentum. Whatever the quantities we have read so far in 9th and 10th, we can derive the dimensions. Momentum, we must know the formula for that quantity. Momentum is defined as mass into velocity. Mass into velocity means m. Velocity is Lt minus 1. So dimension of the momentum will be mlt minus 1. Clear? So next, area. Area we have done. Next is force. Force, before we start explaining the force, we must know what is the dimension for acceleration. Acceleration. Acceleration is velocity upon time, or change in velocity upon time, or simply we say velocity upon time. So velocity is dimension of velocity. We have just now calculated Lt minus 1 upon t, so it becomes Lt minus 2. What about mass? It is independent of mass. So we write m0 Lt minus 2. So now we can define force. Force as mass into acceleration. Mass into acceleration. So mass, dimension of mass is m, acceleration Lt minus 2. So the dimension of force becomes mlt minus 2. Then we can define work. Work is force into displacement. Force into displacement, which we have read in 9th standard. Displacement. Force is mlt minus 2 and displacement is L. So it is ml2. Displacement is basically distance, shortest distance between the initial and the final position. So it is distance. So the dimension will be L. So the dimension becomes for work is ml2 t minus 2. This topic dimensions will be important till last day of your 12th standard also. So you have to learn how to find out the dimensions of various quantities. Right now we are discussing very basic fundamental basic quantities, but as soon as you move further, gradually you have to define the dimensions of other quantities also. So please try to understand very carefully how to derive the dimensions. So you must know the first of all the formula for that quantity. Once you know the formula, you can derive the dimensions also. So after this work, then we can define power. Right now I am taking the examples of the quantities which you have read in 9th standard. Power. Power is work done upon time taken. Work is ml2 t minus 2 and time is t. So it is ml2 t minus 3. This is your power. Then impulse. Impulse is a force which acts for a very short interval of time, like kicking of a football, hitting of a ball with a bat. So this is the impulse, impulsive force. So it is measured by the formula force into time. Force is mlt minus 2 and time is t. So it becomes mlt minus t. T minus 1, sorry, t minus 1. Then comes 9th standard work energy, power, impulse. Then comes gravitational constant. Gravitational constant. Gravitational constant. Newton's law of gravitation explains that F is equal to G m1 m2 upon r square. I think you all can recall this formula. Yes? So this is your gravitational constant. So we can find out the dimension of this capital G as F into r square upon m1 into m2. m1 m2 are the masses of the two bodies and r is the distance between the two bodies. So F dimension of, just now we have calculated the dimension of force, so it is ml t minus 2 and r, which is the distance, so it is again L2 upon m1 is a mass, m2 is also mass, so m into m cancel, it becomes, yes, m minus 1 L3 t minus 2, dimensions of the gravitational constant. Clear? Everybody has noted down this? Good. Next comes density. Density is mass upon volume. That is m upon L3. So it becomes ml minus 3, and what about t? T is 0. Then comes relative density. Relative density, it is the ratio of the density of the substance to the density of water. So it is the ratio of the two densities. So the dimension for the density will be ml minus 3, and here also it is ml minus 3. So everything will be cancelled out. So this will be what? m0 L0 T0, means it is dimensionless. Relative density is dimensionless. Can you give me another example of dimensionless quantity? Yes, refractive index, ratio of the speed of light in one medium to the speed of light in second medium. Clear? And one more dimensionless example of dimensionless quantity. Yes, linear magnification, ratio of the size of the image to the size of the object. All these quantities we have read in 10th standard. Clear now, isn't it? Yes? Okay. Next. Another example of the given refractive index. That is V1 over V2, and then linear magnification. Linear magnification, which is H2 by H1. So clearly these are both are dimensionless quantities. Shall we proceed further? So next, what else we have read in 10th standard? Electric current, which is a fundamental quantity. So dimension will be A, and then next is electric potential. Electric potential. Electric potential is denoted by V. It is work done per unit charge. Small q is charge, W is work done, and q is charge. Yes. So charge, how will you define charge? Charge is equal to what? I into T. Yes. I is equal to q by T. So q will be I into T. So the dimension of for the q will be A into capital T. Now put the value of dimensions for work done and q. So you will get the dimensions for potential. V, capital V is for potential. So it is ml 2 T minus 2 upon AT. So this becomes ml2 T minus 3 A minus 1. This is the formula for electric potential. Yes. Next comes electrical resistance. Are you getting my point that we are all discussing all the quantities which you have read in 9th and 10th standard. I am not discussing any new quantity which you have not read so far. Okay, so next is electrical resistance. Electrical resistance. Electrical resistance. Using Ohm's law, we know that potential difference is equal to IR. So R is equal to what? V upon I. Just now we have calculated the dimensions for potential. What we have discussed, potential is work done upon charge. So work done is ml2 T minus C. Now work done force into distance. ml2 T minus force is equal to ml2 mlt minus 2. Okay, force into distance is work done. So work done is ml2 T minus 2. Okay, and charge is AT. So it becomes ml2 T minus 3 A minus 1. So put the same formula here. It is ml2 T minus 3 A minus 1 upon A. So it becomes ml2 T minus 3 A minus 2. Are you getting my point? So we have to basically, we must know the formula for that quantity. If you know the formula, then only you can find out the dimensions. Next comes one quantity which we are going to use commonly, that is Planck's constant. Planck's constant. Though you are going to study this quantity in detail in chemistry as well as in physics also further, but right now at this moment let me explain. Planck's constant. Planck is the name of the scientist. He defined that light waves travels in the packets of energy, quantum of energy. So, and he defined the energy for the quantity as E is equal to those particles as h nu, where nu is the frequency of the radiation or the light radiation, and h is Planck's constant, and E is energy. E is energy. This equation is also known as Planck's equation. Planck's equation. So E stands for energy, H stands for Planck's constant, and nu stands for frequency. So let us find out the dimensions of H. Energy and work is same. So it is ml2 T minus 2. Clear? Planck's constant is to be calculated, and frequency is reciprocal of time. So it becomes T minus 1. Clear? So now we can find out the dimensions of H. Dimensions of H will be E upon nu. That is ml2 T minus 2 upon nu is T minus 1. So it becomes ml2 T minus 1. This is your Planck's constant. In this way, we can derive the dimensions of various quantities. Clear to everyone? We have to practice all whatever we have done so far. You have to practice on your own also. But again, let us find out the dimensions of the derived quantities. Okay? So, after discussing this, that now we are in a position to categorize all the physical quantities into 4 main categories on the basis of dimensional analysis. On the basis of quantities into 4 main categories. First is known as dimensional variables. Second is known as dimensionless variable. Third is known as dimensional constant. And last is known as dimensionless constant. dimensional variables. You can write down also. These are the quantities which possess dimension and their value is also not fixed. Let me repeat. These are the quantities which possess dimension and their value is not fixed. For example, mass, length, velocity, all these quantities are dimensional variables, etc. Dimensionless variables means the quantities which do not have dimensions, but their value is not fixed. For example, dimensionless variable. Yes, refractive index, relative density, linear magnification. All these quantities are dimensionless and their value is also not fixed. We know refractive index of water is 1.33, refractive index of glass is 1.5. So it has different values for different medium. So these values are not fixed. Clear to everyone? So these quantities are known as dimensionless variables. So we can write down the definition, and the examples are relative refractive index, relative density, first, second refractive index, and third is linear magnification. All these are dimensionless variables. And so on. Similarly, dimensional constant means the quantities possess dimensions, but their value is all fixed. Their value is not variable. So, gravitational constant and Planck's constant and so on. There are many other constants also which we have not discussed so far and we have not read also in 9th and 10th standard, but definitely you are going to study in 11th and 12th. So, for at this moment I have to take some examples. So, I have explained you Planck's constant. We have many more constants also. So, right now I have given the examples. Gravitational constant definitely you have read in 9th standard, and one more example that I have discussed is Planck's constant. So, these quantities, both these quantities, gravitational as well as Planck's constant, these quantities have dimensions, and their value is also fixed. Value of this Planck's constant is 6.6 into 10 to the 6 3 to the minus 34 joules second. This is the value for the Planck's constant. And value for G is, we know, it is 6.67 into 10 to the minus 11 Newton meter square per kilogram square. These are the values for H and G. Their value is constant, and both these quantities possess dimensions. Okay. So next is dimensionless constant. Means these quantities which do not have dimension and their value is also fixed. That is 5. 5 example for this. And value of E is 1.4. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, all these pure numbers. All these are dimensionless and their number value is 1, 2, 3 value. So these are all dimensionless constants. So that means all the quantities, whether it is fundamental or derived, we can further divide into 4 main categories on the basis of dimensional analysis. One is dimensional variable, second is dimensionless variable, third is dimensional constant, and fourth is dimensionless constant. So dimensional variables are these: mass, length, velocity, force, acceleration, and so on. Dimensionless variable, relative density, refractive index, linear magnification means the quantities which do not possess any dimensions and their value is also not fixed. Dimensional constant means the quantities which possess dimensions as well as their value is also fixed. Dimensionless constant means those quantities which do not possess any dimensions but their value is fixed. For example, phi. E is exponential value. E exponential functions you are going to study in 11th standard. So this is phi is one number which you are aware of. Phi value of phi is 3.14 and E is 1.4 and 1, 2, 3 other numbers are also constant numbers. So on the basis of this we have discussed this. I think everybody has noted on this and we are clear with this. So shall we proceed further? When we are saying dimensional dimensions of area is M0 L2 T0. This is known as dimensional formula. Dimensional formula. And if we write this area as capital A and M0 L2 T0, this is known as dimensional equation. Dimensional equation. Similarly, for velocity, V is equal to M0 LT minus 1. This is dimensional equation. Means when we write this as a complete word, velocity is equal to M0 LT minus 1. This becomes dimensional formula. Clear to everyone? So, we have studied this dimensional formula and dimensional equation. So, we have discussed all the dimensional formulas of all the quantities. So, we must know the difference between the dimensional formula and dimensional equation. Yes. Now, we have to use this knowledge in various other forms. Like, we can check the correctness of any physical relation. We can convert those units also from one system to another system using dimensions. We can derive the physical relation also if we know the factors on which it depends. So before we start discussing this application, we have to explain one principle that is known as principle of homogeneity. Principle of homogeneity. This principle explains that like quantities can be added or subtracted. Like length में length ही ऐड हो सकती है, मास नहीं ऐड हो सकता. मास में मास ही ऐड हो सकता है, टाइम नहीं ऐड हो सकता. जैसे हमने अलजेब्रा में मैथ्स में पढ़ा था, x में x ही ऐड हो सकता है, y में y ऐड हो सकता है, सेम. तो यहाँ पर भी एक बात यही है, थोड़ा सा इसको टेक्निकली हमने बोल दिया, प्रिंसिपल ऑफ होमोजेनिटी. अब डायमेंशंस के आंसर कैसे कहेंगे? अब आप समझो, अगर हमारे पास क्वांटिटी, चाहे वो वेलोसिटी है, फाइनल वेलोसिटी है, चाहे वो इनिशियल वेलोसिटी है तो वेलोसिटी, तो डायमेंशन तो वही रहेंगी उसकी, lt माइनस 1. तो मतलब कहने का ये कि क्वांटिटी अगर चेंज नहीं हो रही है तो डायमेंशन भी चेंज नहीं होंगी. और सेम क्वांटिटीज हमेशा एक क्वांटिटी में दूसरी क्वांटिटी अगर नेचर सेम होगी तो ही वो ऐड हो सकती है, नहीं तो वो ऐड नहीं हो सकती है. ये कहता है कौन? प्रिंसिपल ऑफ होमोजेनिटी. मतलब ये कहने का इसको और सिंपल भाषा में अगर बोले तो वो क्वांटिटीज जिनकी m की पावर, l की पावर, t की पावर अगर सेम है तो वो ऐड हो सकती, नहीं तो वो नहीं ऐड हो सकती. मेरी बात समझ आ रही है? ठीक है. तो इसको ऐसे बोल सकते हैं कि इसको हम लिख सकते हैं कि द क्वांटिटीज व्हिच हैज द सेम नेचर कैन बी एडेड और सब्ट्रैक्टेड, और व्हिच हैज द सेम डायमेंशंस कैन बी एडेड और सब्ट्रैक्टेड. दिस इज नोन एज प्रिंसिपल ऑफ होमोजेनिटी. So when we are going to have define the other applications of dimensions, we will use this principle of homogeneity. Clear to everyone? So first application is, we can write down that we can check the correctness of any physical relation using dimensions. We can check the correctness of any physical relation So let us take one example. First example, let us take one example, that is b is equal to u plus at. This is equation we have read in 9th standard. In motion we have read first equation of motion. Yes, v is the final velocity, u is the initial velocity, a is the acceleration, and t is time. Let us find out the LHS. LHS is v. What are the dimensions for v? It is LT minus 1. And RHS now, let us take RHS. U plus AT. Now, U is LT minus 1 and AT. A dimensions for A is LT minus 2 and T is T. T minus 2. So, it becomes LT minus 1 plus LT minus 1. That means dimensions of each term is same, whether it is on left hand side or it is on right hand side. So, we will say that this relation is correct. So according to principle of homogeneity, that dimensions of each term, if the relation is correct, will be same on either it is on the either left hand side or it is on the right hand side. Clear to everyone? Dimensions of B is LT minus 1, dimensions of U is also LT minus 1, and dimensions of AT is also LT minus 1. That means this is also representing velocity. This is velocity and this is also velocity. So, if you want to check the correctness of any physical relation, dimensions of each term will be same with, on either side, whether it is on the left hand side or it is on the right hand side. Clear to this, everyone? Okay, good. So, next is let us take one more example. Second example ले लेते हैं हम. That is v square minus u square is equal to 2as. This is your third equation of motion. Yes. So left hand side. Yes. LT minus 1. Yes. I am writing now directly. U is LT minus 1. This is LHS. So it is L2T minus 2 minus L2T minus 2. Both the quantities have the same dimension. Okay. Now RHS. RHS has 2AS. 2 is dimensionless constant. This quantity is not having any dimensions. So dimension of A is LT minus 2 and S is L. So it is L2T minus 2. So dimensions of each quantity on the left hand side and on the right hand side is same. So LHS is equal to RHS. So this relation is also correct. Clear? एक और एग्जाम्पल ले लेते हैं. थर्ड इक्वेशन एक और है ना. वैसे ये थर्ड इक्वेशन होती थी और सेकंड इक्वेशन होती थी हमारे पास s इज इक्वल टू ut प्लस हाफ at स्क्वायर. अब इसको भी देख लेते हैं हम एक बार. LHS is s which is yes m0 l t0. ठीक है. और RHS ut प्लस हाफ at स्क्वायर. ठीक है. तो ये देखते हैं हम. It is LT minus 1 T plus half A is LT minus 2 T raised to power 2. So this becomes LT minus LT 0 हो गया ये सारा. T minus 1 plus 1 becomes 0. Okay. And this again this is dimensionless and this again becomes 0. So it is L. This is also L and LHS is also L. So it is M0 L T0 and this is also M0 L T0. So, the LHS is equal to RHS. LHS was this and RHS is also this. So, this relation is also correct. Clear? You want to note down? You can note down also. एक और ले लेते हैं एग्जाम्पल. That force is equal to half mv square minus half mu square. This is your final kinetic energy and this is initial kinetic energy. So change in kinetic energy is equal to what? This is your you can say work done. So we can explain that this both this relation is correct or incorrect. We can explain. Left LHS is ml2 t minus 2. Work done. Now RHS half mv square minus half m u square. Half is again dimensionless. It is ml2 t minus 2. ml half is dimensionless. ml2 t minus 2. So this relation is also correct. This is also known as work energy theorem. We will discuss in 11th standard work energy power chapter. This is work energy theorem also. So this relation is again this is RHS. So RHS is equal to LHS. So I think by considering all these 4 examples, you are able to understand how we can use the principle of homogeneity, and knowing the knowledge of dimensions, we can check the this correctness of any physical relation. we are checking only the dimensionally whether it is correct or incorrect. We are not taking the word this half, we are not taking into account the half, which is dimensionless. So we are checking it, this relation, whether this relation is dimensionally correct or not correct. Clear to everyone? So whatever we have discussed, before we start next application, let me revise all the topics which we have discussed so far. Okay, quick revision. First, we have defined the physical quantity. It is a quantity which can be measurable. Second, types of physical quantity, that is fundamental and derived quantities. Fundamental quantities are the basic quantities or absolute quantities which cannot be further, which can be used to derive other quantities known as derived quantities. Then we defined the unit. The unit is a standard chosen for the measurement of any physical quantity, and then we define the process of measurement. Process of measurement, we have written Q is equal to NU, where N is the magnitude and U is the unit. Then we have discussed the various system of units. System of units, we have discussed SPS, CGS, CGS, MKS and SI system. We discussed that SI system is the internationally accepted system of units because this system was able to explain all the 7 fundamental quantities. This system was easily convertible from smaller unit to another unit, and this system was able to explain the units of whether the quantity like energy, whether it is like this electrical energy or whether it is heat energy, SI unit will be same. So this system is also a rational system of units. So this was internationally acceptable system of units. So we have discussed the SI unit of fundamental quantities, that is length as meter, mass as kilogram, then time as seconds, electric current as ampere, and then amount this temperature as Kelvin, then amount of this luminous intensity as candela, and amount of the substance as mole. After discussing this, then we have discussed that these 7 fundamental quantities are basically the 7 dimensions of the physical world. 7 dimensions, therefore we say dimensions for the length as capital L, mass as capital M, स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट में लिखना है, ये तरीका है लिखने का. इलेक्ट्रिक करंट की डायमेंशन कैपिटल ए, टेम्परेचर का केल्विन, कैंडेला और इसका मोल. किसी क्वांटिटी का यूनिट ही उसका डायमेंशन ले लिया, किसी क्वांटिटी को हमने इस तरीके से किया और हमने टाइम को कैपिटल टी. तो जैसे एरिया की डायमेंशन हमने कहा कैसे निकालेंगे आप, लेंथ इंटू ब्रेथ का फॉर्मूला लिखिए. लेंथ की डायमेंशन एल, ब्रेथ की डायमेंशन पुट करें, ये आ जाएगा m0 L2 T0. यस. तो डायमेंशंस बेसिकली क्या है, डायमेंशंस जो है ना वो पावर्स हैं. किसकी पावर, फंडामेंटल क्वांटिटीज की पावर, जो कि हमने लिखी ताकि जो गिवन क्वांटिटी है उसको हम एक्सप्रेस कर सकें. So you can write down the definition of dimension also here. I think we have not written the definitions of dimension so earlier. So right now we can write down the definition of dimension. These are the powers to be raised of the fundamental quantity. In order to express the given quantity. Then we have derived the dimensions of all the derived quantities. Then we discussed the various types of the quantities on the basis of dimensional analysis, dimensionless variable, then dimensionless constant, dimensional variable, dimensionless variable, then dimensional constant, and then dimensionless constant. These are the 4 quantities we have discussed with the help of examples. Like here we can say mass, length, time, velocity, work, and so on. Dimensionless variables, these are the dimensionless variables. Refractive index, relative index, refractive index को mu से करते थे, और relative density, and then linear magnification. Then dimensional constant, हमने बोला है gravitational constant, Planck's constant. Dimensionless constant, pi, e, 1, 2, 3, and so on. So we have discussed these are the 4 quantities on the basis of dimensional analysis. Then we have discussed principle of homogeneity, that is the like principle of homogeneity. According to this, that only like quantities can be added or subtracted, or if you want to prove any relation, if you are saying any relation, this is correct, it means dimensions of each term which is present on the left hand side or on the right hand side will be same. इसकी basis पर we have discussed the application, first application, that we can check the correctness of any physical relation, and for that application we have discussed further 4 examples in order to explain the first application of the dimensions. I think it is clear to everyone that whatever we have discussed so far. So next class we will discuss the other applications. Okay.